All right, and we are live. So, welcome to our speaker series. As a matter of fact, this speaker series is the last one for this school year. And I'm excited because we have a very, very special guest, Miss ASHIYA SWAN. And she's going to talk to us about the freedom schools. And many of you across Nashville have heard about the freedom schools, and I'm excited to talk about that. But first, I'm going to kick off and just let you guys know why we do speaker series. We bring on experts, subject matter experts, on our speaker series to educate our parents, to inform them, and to make sure that they're in the loop. A lot of times, things are done to us instead of with us, and we want to make sure that we are doing things with our parents as partners and making sure that we continue to develop their power. So, welcome, Miss Swan.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here with you.
Thank you. You know what? I want to go ahead and just kind of soften the air a little bit. Like tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you were born. Do you have any children? Because I like for our families to relate to our guests.
Oh, wonderful. I am from a very small town in South Georgia called Adel. It takes me probably about 45 minutes to get to Florida. So I'm straight down 75 from Atlanta, which is what most people ask me, how close am I to Atlanta, right? Not very close at all. But I did go to college in Atlanta, moved here, and married a wonderful young man that I met while I was in Atlanta. We have a lovely little 3-year-old boy that is the best mix of hard work and good fun that I have ever experienced in my life, and I'm sure parents can relate to that.
Yes, yes, yes. We always love to have mothers
Mm,
um, on our show. I'll tell you the importance of that. We love when people are their authentic self. That's very important in relationship building. And so, thank you for like sharing those details about yourself, so that the parents who are listening can find a way to connect not only to the information but to the person in which we are speaking to. So. Our parents are starting to log in. Hey, Miss Jennifer, Miss Sunshine Reggae. And as our parents come in, hey, Rhea, we just want to welcome them to our last speaker series for this school year, and it's going to be a good one. So, um, do you have any big summer plans?
Oh yes, freedom schools is my summer plan.
We'll get into that in a minute, but what about you and the family? Do you
And
have any?
then after that 6 weeks is done, which is usually hard and fast, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna rest. Maybe find a pool or a beach, but no major plans this summer. Just freedom school.
You know what? Gas is going to be too high to be traveling places.
It is. It is. Yep.
Look,
So
I
I'm
don't
not
mean
gonna.
to damper everybody's moment, but gas is high.
It is. You can find that peace and serenity right where you are. So that might be what I have to do this summer.
I can see some buckets of water and water guns in my future at home with my new grand pup Kratos.
I understand. I do.
Yeah, I don't have too many big plans. Just hanging out with the family and loving on them, and just spending that quality time. I know we got a lot of that during COVID, like being quarantined, but it just made me really appreciate the time. And I love sitting on my back porch, and so I'm
Mm,
excited that the weather is warm and I can sit on the back porch and drink me a little lemonade, eat me a
yeah.
little real food. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm
I
trying to
think
get.
that's
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think that we always try to find the silver lining with COVID. I think that was one of the things for me that it really gave me a deeper level of appreciation for the time that I spend with my family and friends. So thank
Yes,
you for that
yes,
timely
yes.
reminder.
It does. It truly does. And as our parents are starting to log on and to trickle in, just want to say to the parents out there and to the students, like, okay, school is almost out, and we got to do something to make sure that we don't have further learning loss. And so we're going to talk about that right now. So Miss Swan, like, let's talk about how Freedom Schools came about. Like, what was it birthed out of?
Okay. I have a slideshow. Do we want to do that, or do you just
Yeah,
want
go,
to chat?
go look, do your thing.
So, let me see if I know how to do my thing.
It's all right. We got our tech people, but hey, Miss Friend, why we doing that? I'm gonna say hi to Miss Trimble and to Miss Booker. Welcome, y'all. We're gonna talk about Nashville Freedom Schools, and we have Miss ASHIYA Swan. Did I say it right?
ASHIYA.
ASHIYA. Girl, I can mess up a name. I am so sorry.
It's not an easy one, but I always tell people the I sounds like an A.
Oh,
ASHIYA.
ASHIYA.
Yes.
So welcome, you guys. Welcome. Come on in here. Share, like, comments, ask questions. Make Miss Swan feel at home. So I'm gonna be quiet so you can get started.
Thank you so much again for having me. Hello, family. I'm so glad to be here and to share the wonderful work that we do at Freedom Schools. I won't take too long, but I just want to share a little bit about the origins, as Miss Thomas just asked about what was Freedom School birthed from. We'll talk a little bit about that. Talk about what Freedom Schools looks like today, as well as our mission here in Nashville, and how to enroll your scholars if that's something you're interested in, and how you can connect with us and get involved. And so, Freedom Schools, in the summer of 1964, there was what some people refer to as the Mississippi Freedom Summer Project. Some people call it just Freedom Summer. But it was organized by four of the biggest civil rights organizations at that time, which was SNCC, or the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, CORE, Congress on Racial Equality, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and the NAACP, which most people are probably most familiar with the last two. But what they did was to bring, in an effort to bring attention to all of the discrimination and all of the intimidation that was happening to our Black people in Mississippi during the times that they were trying to register to vote, to go out to vote. About, I think they say somewhere around 700 volunteers, both Black and white, kind of just descended on Mississippi for that summer. And one of the things that they did was a voter registration drive. And what's probably less known by people is that summer introduced Freedom Schools. And so, whoa. So during the Freedom, I don't want to skip over that. Here's a little Nashville tidbit. One of the first wave of Freedom Riders included Mr. Ernest Rip Patton Jr. He was born here in Nashville. He went down. He was one of those what we call freedom riders that did the work that we just talked about. And I think he was maybe 19 or so at the time. And I think it's important for us to know that the SNCC, I think 80% of the volunteers came through them. Those were college students. And I always love to share that with our scholars, to let them know that even at a young age, you can make change and you can make waves in this country of ours that will be felt for years to come, because we're still talking about Freedom Summer of 1964. But Mr. Patton was a Freedom School board member. He was a wonderful storyteller. One of our favorite things was just to see him light up, as you can see here in these pictures, when he talked to our scholars. And so he passed last year, but his legacy will definitely live on through the work we do here at Freedom Schools in Nashville. And so the Freedom Schools of that summer really was born as a way to counter what was called the sharecropper education. The curriculum for Freedom Schools was a little bit more progressive. So there was reading and writing, arithmetic, history, all combined into this Freedom Schools that really gave our community the opportunity to better prepare themselves to be active members of society, to be able to run for office if they like, to be able to start businesses if they wanted to. It really gave them the education that they deserve to have. And someone told me, we were talking about Freedom Schools of today, and we were talking about how innovative Freedom School, even from its inception, has always been. I had one of my colleagues, our wonderful project manager, was educating me the other day on what was called fugitive pedagogy, where before it was even legal for us to learn to read, there was still ways that we were teaching each other. And so what I see Freedom School is that way, that time that we were able to kind of start boldly stepping out and saying, this is who we are, this is what we need as a community. And I love the way you said that sometimes everything is not for us, but Freedom Schools kind of feels like it's for us, by us, to kind of throw forward to what the children would say today. And so Marion Wright Edelman was a young lawyer during that summer, and she eventually went on to found CDF, the Children's Defense Fund. And so Freedom Schools today are Children's Defense Fund Freedom Schools, as they're known. And Freedom Schools serves scholars from K to 12, and then we serve our scholars through 5 different ways. So high quality academic and character building enrichment, which looks like our integrative reading curriculum that has books and stories and authors from people that look like our children, that reflect our children's experiences, and that really are infused with the joy that we know that is really inherent to who we are. We also have parent and family involvement, which can look like anything from what the wonderful work that Nashville Propel does in helping to help families and parents find their way as advocates for their children. So sometimes we just give parents a break and just serve dinner and let them relax and chill and enjoy their children. Our civic and engagement and social action piece really is our way of, again, teaching our children that at any age you can make a change. Our theme for Freedom Schools is I can make a difference. And each week we explore something different, so I can make a difference in myself, in my family, in my community, in my world. And we do it with hope, love, and action. And our social activism really kind of culminates in this one day that's called our National Day of Social Action, where our children plan all summer to take some action in our community to make it better. Our intergenerational servant leadership development really comes to play when we hire college age students to come in and to teach our children in our integrated reading curriculums. And so for a lot of them, it's their opportunity not only to decide, yes, I want to be in the classroom, but to decide how they want to be in the classroom. They want to be that kind of liberating force for our children that sometimes they don't get. They want to reflect who our children are to them. And so they get an opportunity to really kind of revel in this energy when they're with Freedom Schools. And so we love to see what our servant leader interns go on to do once they graduate from college. And then the last piece is we have a nutrition, health, and mental health piece. And that looks like we have served meals to our scholars during our program. We serve meals sometimes to our parent engagement. We have a mindfulness piece that we're integrating. And so our way of moving the Freedom Schools into the present day is really to answer the needs of our families through these 5 components. So just a little bit about Nashville Freedom School specifically. Our summer session is this summer from June 13th to July 22nd. It's a 6-week summer program. As I mentioned, it's literacy based and it's a cultural enrichment program. We do not charge anything for the programming that we provide to our families. It is completely free. Our focus in the past has been on the 3720608 and now 37210 zip code. This summer specifically, we're serving grades K through 4. In the past, we've done K through 8, and I feel that we will go back to that. We also have a 9th to 12th grade component that we call our junior internship program. So that is for our our high school students that are really looking for that first job experience. There's a little bit of job readiness involved. There's some personal development involved. And so they get paid. It's their first job. And many of them really love and enjoy it. And what our hope is that some of our scholars will become junior interns. Some of our junior interns will become our servant leader interns that teach and lead. we love, as I mentioned before, slide that all children experience. And so this, the way that we do it that makes us unique is we really just build this sense of cultural and community pride through the exercises that we go through one of my favorite things about Freedom School is called Harambe. And that's how we start our day. And in Swahili, Harambe means let's pull together. So there's cheers and there's chants, and we have a Rito Gal guest that comes in, and it really does just immerse our children in like this really bowl of Black excellence every summer. And so it's just a wonderful experience. I had a parent that said to me, and I've seen it myself, that children really cry at the end of Freedom School because they're sad that it's over. And we just remind them that, we have next summer together as well. And I talked a little bit about how we train our college students. So if you're interested in enrolling your scholars, you can go to our website. It's NashvilleFreedomSchools.org. You can select enroll at the top and just complete the form, and then I'll follow up with you to get them started. We still have plenty of space, so we're excited to be here to share that with you.
Well, thank you so much. I just want to recap a little bit.
Mhm.
So the Freedom Schools were birthed out of the Freedom Summer when
Yes.
there was a whole movement, a civil rights movement started around voting. Both Black and white people were joined together to ensure that we had our civil right to vote, but also to learn, right? Like, there was a time when the Black vote, they weren't able to vote. And then then when they decided that they want to give us some voting rights, then we had to take an aptitude test to even be able to vote or to register to vote. And many people of color could not pass those tests, and those tests were on sixth grade level. So why am I talking about that? That looks like today. It's 2022.
Mm.
And we're still fighting this fight. And so we thank God for the Freedom Schools and the opportunity to make sure that our children are in a space where they learn about their culture and where they're around people that look like them. Why is it important? I'm glad y'all asked. It is important. See, there's several things or components that's important to reading, and one of those components that's important is to have that background knowledge when you're reading, when you're learning different words and things. And so this program is for K-4, right?
This
K through
summer,
4. Okay, so let's recap that because I think we got some people coming in, and I want to make sure that nobody misses this.
Yes. So this summer we're serving grades K-4. And what I didn't say is that we have 2 sites. So
Okay.
our first site is over at Gordon Memorial United Methodist Church. They are actually one of our longest running partners. And that's just off of Herman Street near TSU.
Mhm.
And then our newest site is actually over at C. Hubbard United Methodist Church. And that is near the Napier homes. Off of South First Avenue. And so we have 2 sites there. They're both for scholars in grades kindergarten through 4th grade. And we're still enrolling at no cost to our families. We do serve breakfast and lunch to our scholars in addition to giving them a snack. This summer, we are partnering with Miss Jamisha Harris of the Free Community Food Program, and our scholars will be getting hot breakfast each morning.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that new partnership. And so we are just looking forward to offering to everything that we have to share with our scholars. And again, I think that one of the other things that one of those kind of intangibles that I can't put in a report or I can't put, in is that our children really have fun at Freedom Schools. It's fun for all of us. And I think that there was someone that I was talking to about Freedom Schools one time, and they talked about joy as liberation, like as freedom. And it really is. And when I look at, despite everything that has come at us as a people, like there's still this underlying joy that's within us. And at Freedom Schools, we live into that full out.
And I was about to ask you, when you think about the word freedom, like what comes to mind to you? And you said that you were talking to other people, and it's joy and liberation.
Mm-hmm.
I think also when I think about being free, I think about security.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is being able to secure my future in the future, in the children that come into my family and my legacy. And I think it's just important. Words matter to me. And so as we were just talking, I was just listening to you, and that word, like that's what it means to me. It's just security and it's opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's life, liberation and life. Those words are all beautiful. Why did you guys pick the neighborhoods that you picked? Was there like any strategy around the neighborhoods that you're going into? Is it, are you targeting a specific community? Do you see like maybe like some trends in literacy in those areas?
We do. We first of all, that's where we are, and we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be able to serve our children. And we do know that not always because of who our children are or how they perform, they don't always have what they need to succeed. And so we wanted to be able to supplement and complement the everything that they need as they continue to grow. And so we definitely specifically chose the neighborhoods that we're in for that reason. I think that one of the things that I love to share with people is someone said that around third grade, our children grow from learning to read to reading to learn.
Correct.
And so we feel like if we can be in there with the teachers and the parents, kind of helping to support our children during that transition and to help them find like we said, the joy and the love of reading, that will carry throughout their education. And so we just hope that we can provide that support that they need, or help provide that support that they need.
Sunshine said when she thinks about freedom, she thinks about happiness. Yes. What does it mean to really be happy? We had that question on our question of the day this morning for our team. Like, what does it mean like to be happy? And Sunshine says freedom. Freedom is happiness to her, and that just gave me chills. Right, that just gave me chills. But we got a question here of Vanya Moore. She wants to know how long in the day. Like, what are the hours? Like,
the hours. So our scholars usually arrive for breakfast at 8 a.m. and we start our day about 8:30. And then we end at 3 p.m. So 8 to 3.
8 to 3. And there's no transportation provided. So the parents will have to get their children to the camp and then leave. Would there be any field trips, or would they just kind of stay there at the site all day?
We will have some field trips. And so we are still mapping out those.
I want to come to Freedom School.
Yes. Come on.
Matter of fact, Miss Sonia is gonna make some pop-ups at the Freedom School, and I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna help. So y'all get y'all's children signed up. Go ahead, Miss Swan. Got excited.
We would love to have you. You have to definitely come read. You definitely have to come read. Oh, wonderful. But yes, so
8 to 3.
8 to 3. Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. I hope that answers the questions. Candace Brewington says freedom to her. She said freedom to me is freedom from chronic stress. Yes.
And that's one of the things that we are really starting to infuse into our programming is how do we give our children the tools that they need to free themselves from that chronic stress that we all experience just being Black in America.
Yes. And Lita Selena said she enjoys seeing the pride and confidence in the children at the end of the program about themselves. Oh, I am so excited. I mean, like these are the things that we have to do in our own community. Because for far too long, like, we've had to depend on other people to do that, right? And it ain't worked out for us, Miss Swan. That ain't worked out for us. And so what you guys are doing, you're building children, you're building confidence, and you're seeing the genius in children. And that is just something to celebrate.
It is one of the things that I think really expresses that is that at the end of the summer, so our last day, July 22nd, we have what we call our closing finale. And every year there's inevitably some person that's in the community that comes up to me and they just are really blown away by our children. They do spoken word, they do raps, they do rhymes, they do step shows, and it's really just a snippet or a view into their genius, as you said.
Okay. Miss Fitzgerald wants to know if can she volunteer, and if she can volunteer, how is she able to do so? Can you give us an email address or something that where she can reach out?
You can email me at info@nashvillefreedomschools.org. You also should be able to go to our website and click volunteer, and sign up on our website to volunteer. And we'll be so happy to have you. So lucky to have you. That's one thing that
again.
I'm sorry.
Can you say that email again? We want to put it across our screen.
Info at NashvilleFreedomSchools.org.
All right, we got some people ready. There it is. Info at NashvilleFreedomSchools.org.
And
And guys, look, we want to make sure that we help with this enrollment. Like we need to fill this program up with children. So I want you guys, if you have not enrolled your children into camp, they don't need to sit at home. Look, Miss Sonia, Auntie Sonia is saying this. They don't need to sit at home all day being idle. Idle mind. Y'all know what happens to idle mind. They need to get out of the house. They need to get some exercise. They need to be around their peers. They need to be exposed to this information. They need to be reading. But also we know that they need to be having fun. Let's see. Yes, my children love Freedom School. But we got to make sure we get, how many spots you got? Do we have plenty of spots so we can fill those spots up?
We have plenty of spots. So come on and enroll those kids. We're ready for them.
So we need your nieces, we need nephews, we need cousins. We need to get our children in front of some beautiful Black people who are going to pour into them. Yes, I said, and I mean exactly what I say, and y'all know I do. And I unapologetically say what I say. I need these children in front of these beautiful Black people so they can see people who look just like them, so that they can get the empathy and the love. And I'm not saying that white people don't do that, but I'm saying what I'm saying. I know these Black people will. Now, run tell that. I want to make sure that we get as many children enrolled in this program. And so I need you guys, if your children are past the age of 4th grade, you know other children in the community, we need to make sure that we get as many children enrolled into this program. Like we need for them to have a waiting list. And Nashville Propel parents, we are able to do that. We are connected to the people in our community, and we're going to make sure that this program serves those children in our communities. Miss McCord says, Avaya Moore says, what are the dates again?
The dates again are June 13th through July 22nd.
Y'all closed for 4th of July.
You know, we close for 4th of July. Yes. Somebody definitely wants to know that. Yes, we will be closed for 4th of July.
Y'all closed for Juneteenth.
We are not, but we will be out in the community, I think, on that day. What day is Juneteenth? It falls on a Saturday.
Okay. All right. And then let's see here. We got some other questions here. Miss Avaya Moore, she said, hey, Miss Sonia. Hey, Miss Moore, sweetheart. How you doing? Let's see. Somebody said, can you please repeat the locations? Yes, we can. Get your kids signed up in there. Yes, we can. Let's go.
You can enroll at one of two sites. So first one is over at Gordon United Methodist Church over on Herman Street near TSU. And then our second location is at C. Hubbard. That is off of First Avenue South. I think that's right across from the Napier Home community.
Mm-hmm. And then someone asked, how do we enroll again? People are just joining on, so we may have to repeat, and that's okay with us.
No, yeah, I have no problem with that. The easiest way to enroll is to go to our website, which is NashvilleFreedomSchools.org. And when you look up at the top, you'll see enroll. Just click enroll, and there's a form for you to fill out. If you're enrolling more than one child, it'll ask you at the bottom, would you like to enroll a second child? You just tap yes, and then you'll be able to enter the information for that second child.
And it doesn't matter if the child has a unique ability or disability?
We just need to know that. And we'll have a time that we'll talk with parents prior to us beginning.
Mhm.
And we would be happy to do our best to accommodate that.
Wonderful. So
I see.
y'all, that they are taking, making sure that all children receive this beautiful program. And so what we just need to do is to put together a plan to make
Mhm.
sure that they have the accommodations that they need. So make sure you guys are reaching out and getting the information and giving the information,
Mhm.
making sure that they have the information they need to make sure they can help you. Let's see if we got any more. Can the high schoolers still sign up for junior internship? You guys must have done that in the past.
We have the in the past. I don't have as many spaces for the junior internship program, but I do have a few. That one, if you'll email me at the info@nashvillefreedomschools.org, I'll be able to get you signed up for that one, or get your high schooler signed up for that program.
Okay. Miss Patterson said, "Thank you. I have two coming your way." All right, now
I
Miss
look forward
Patterson,
to seeing them.
Miss Patterson. Now I need you to get four more. I need you to get four more kids into this program. See, y'all, we got to make sure that we keep programs like this going. COVID kind of put a stop in what we needed to do over the last couple of years. So we got to build our programs back up. We are open and we are ready to take in kids and to get them recovered from learning loss. And I just thank God for the Freedom Schools program. I'm not gonna lie, I had never heard of the Freedom Schools program. And now I am the biggest fan of the Freedom Schools program. As a matter of fact, I need to be talking about this with our literacy warriors on Twitter across the country, so that people know about the Freedom Schools and what's happening right here in Nashville, Tennessee. We ain't playing. We taking matters in our own hands. We're gonna make sure that these children are recovered from learning loss and these children are reading at or above grade level. And I am excited about that.
I'm so appreciative of you right now. I really do feel your excitement because it reflects mine. I have found that one of our challenges that, like you just said, people don't know about us. So if you don't have any children to enroll, or if you've already enrolled your children, just tell somebody that we exist.
Mhm.
Just tell them to go check out our website, read about what we do, read about the history of Freedom Schools, just kind of let people know that we're here and we're around. And Nashville has such a rich history throughout the civil rights movement that it only feels right that Nashville Freedom Schools is here and is and will be here for many years.
I know what I want to talk about. So one of the components that I love that you talk, because y'all have a different like something you address each time, and you guys are gonna like have something about, is it around agriculture or some outdoor stuff this time?
We are hoping to get outside a lot this summer, mainly because we know that our children have been in and they're really itching to be outside. And so we have a lot of opportunities to visit gardens this summer. We have a wonderful group that is going to just kind of create this good old fashioned field day for us. And so I know that we'll have the opportunity to really kind of dig into our community through our food supply. And kind of looking at that. Our National Day of Social Action is looking at climate change. And
Climate
so
change.
yeah, and so our lead staff has kind of been talking about, well, what does that look like for us? And so one of the ways that we thought that we could kind of make it applicable to our lives is to really talk about how climate change is affecting our food supply. And so we're going to look at how gardening can be a remedy to some of the food issues that we're facing. So we're still kind of fleshing it out, but that was where that conversation kind of came from.
Okay, and Miss Lita Selena said, "Can you send someone out for Strong Family Day to sign kids up that day? Can you let us know when Strong Family Day is? If you could put that in the chat, and then I'm sure that we could get some information out there and get some kids signed up. And I'm gonna tell you what the other thing about the climate change and getting outdoors and the gardening does. Many of you talk to us about your children having ADD and ADHD. Let me tell you something. There's research that backs this up. What I'm about to say. children with ADD and ADHD flourish in environments such as this. So you want to make sure they flourish, they take off, they calm down, and they're able to take that energy, that genius. Mind you, what you don't really know is a child with ADHD and ADD are actually genius. Ask me how I know, because you're looking at one. You are looking at a woman who was diagnosed with ADD, who is a nurse, who had a 4.0 in college, who is a founder and executive director of a nonprofit. Don't tell me that it can't be done. And it's because people invested in me and people believed in me. And programs like this are the programs that we need to be putting our children in. And we need to learn innovative ways to make sure that people recognize their gifts. See, somebody recognized the gift in me. And so we got to make sure that we use the information, we develop the knowledge of our parents. That's what Nashville PROPEL does. We organize and we develop powerful parent leaders to ignite a movement that demands equitable education, policies, and practices in Nashville public schools. And programs like this, parents, if you have kids that have ADD and ADHD, I'm telling you, in this type of setting, they'll take off. They will flourish. They'll have their be still time, but then they'll have their time where they're learning something that really helps to bring out the genius in their brain.
Well said. Could not have said it any better.
You're talking to somebody that lives their life every day. So stop letting people tell you that your children can't do anything. I'm a living witness that all those things could be done. Okay. And I live with ADD every day, but through behavior modification and a plan and I sit outdoors 30 and 40 minutes at a time and get my sunlight and walk around the yard. Those are the things that we've got to learn to use. And that means getting these kids out of the house, changing their diet, getting away from all that sugar, getting the good nutrition.
Yep.
Eliminate cereal from their diet. No more cereal. No more cereal bars. Don't give them that. Don't give them that.
I want you to know that you're saying all this while I see my 3-year-old running back and forth by my window outside, because this is outside time right now. Yeah. He had, before the sun goes down, twice a day, in the morning, just after it comes up, and in the afternoon or the evening before it goes down, we got to get outside and we got to get it out. So I love that. I love that visual of him running back and forth where you were saying.
They need that. They need the sunlight. They need the vitamin D. Sugar is poison to Black people. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna teach y'all. So I'm gonna teach you something. Sugar is poison to us. It is poisoning us. It's poisoning our children's brains. It's poisoning our bodies. Sugar is poison. Sugar is in just about everything. So when you talk about gardening, like what I hear you saying is freedom. We're saving generations of children and people. Ain't no sugar and no lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers.
That's not natural anyway.
That's not natural. You want them to have natural sugar, but what you don't want them to have is that sugar that comes in the cereal box and the cereal bars. That stuff ain't good for Black people. I'm sorry. Ain't good for nobody.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Ask me how I know. Let me eat a whole bunch of sugar and watch what happens.
Watch what happens, right?
Y'all gonna get it if I get some sugar. Well, let's recap one more time, and then we're gonna close out with any last comments that you may have. But I am really enjoying this. I want to make sure that everybody gets this information. I want to give it to them multiple times.
So Nashville Freedom Schools is hosting our 6-week summer program starting June 13th through July 22nd. We are enrolling scholars in grades K through 4 this summer at 2 locations, over at Gordon Memorial United Methodist Church off of Herman Street. And our second location is at C. Hubbard United Methodist Church off of First Avenue South. And I have just a few more spots for students. We like to call our children scholars. For scholars in grades 9 through 12 for a paid summer internship. You'll have to email me about that one. So you can enroll on our website, NashvilleFreedomSchools.org. Look for the enroll button at the top. And for the junior internship program, you'll need to email me about that one. And you can email me at info@NashvilleFreedomSchools.org. I think that are both our link to our website and my email address are both in the comments below.
And how will they know if their child has been accepted into the program?
You will hear from me shortly thereafter.
Is that via email or phone call?
You'll get an initial email that says you're confirmed for enrollment, and then I follow up with a phone call.
And then she gonna be hunting y'all. Then Miss Sonya gonna be hunting y'all down too. Y'all better get these children signed up. I better see them this summer. I'm gonna be coming over to them freedom schools. I'm gonna be playing outside and carrying on with them kids. That's what I'm gonna do. I love the kids. So make sure y'all get them children signed up in there and volunteer.
Yes. That is the other piece of, yes, our servant leader interns, our lead staff, our beautiful Black people that our children can see their reflection in. But we also love to have that in our volunteers. We have all sorts of volunteers that come in, but we love it when children can see anyone doing all of the things that Black people are known for doing. So if you have a talent or a skill, or it's just something that you want to share with our children, feel free. You can go back to our website again, click volunteer, and you should be able to sign up there. Or if you need to, or if you want to, you can also email me directly to talk about it. But we love it when, if nothing else, when people from the community come in to read to our scholars, because it says a lot to them to see people that look like them reading.
And it's free.
It's free.
That means, well, nothing ain't free. But what that means is somebody somewhere has asked for gifts, and they had to work. They had to put a plan together and a vision for this program. And then some good people gifted this program because they believe in the mission and the vision of Freedom Schools. And so Nashville Propel believes in the vision and the mission of Freedom School, and we believe in the people who are implementing this program, and we're going to do all we can to support. And that is volunteering, showing up, making sure that parents are connected to the information. This Wednesday, we will talk again about the Freedom Schools and make sure that we get the word out as much as we can. But we need your help. Everybody on the other side of my voice, make sure that you're passing this great information along. Our team is going to do it. We're going to send out something via our MailChimp, making sure we get an email out this week so we can push and fill this program up. I am excited. And I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in our children and investing in our children. Thank you.
It is my pleasure. This started out as a passion project for me where I was volunteering. And then I moved on to the board. But my passion for it has grown. So I'm excited to do this. I'm looking forward to partnering with you all in many different ways. So I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's the beginning of us creating our own freedom.
Yes.
I love it. I love that word, freedom. I love that word. So parents, as you leave us tonight, I want you to think about what freedom means to you if you haven't already done so. But also go into the rooms of your children today and ask them what freedom means to them.
I love that.
Ask them, no matter how young or old they are. So what does it mean to be free? And they may be very young and may not have heard the word. Or maybe they may tell you something like, like when I go to the store and I get a sucker free. Like there's an opportunity to create space for them to have conversations and to be able to relate and to learn words and to identify whether or not they have freedom.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You got to ask yourself, are we really free? And what does it mean to have freedom? And what do we need to get there? We got to be learning. We got to read.
Mhm. I'm gonna ask that on our socials. See what people. I'm interested now. You've given me something because now I'm gonna be asking people what does freedom mean to them.
What does freedom mean to you? What does that look like, smell like, and taste like? What is it?
Mhm.
Yes. All right, y'all. Well, it's 6:45. We're going to end a little bit early tonight, but I'm going to tell you this was a plethora of information, new word alert. This some wonderful information. It was just a beautiful experience to hear about the Freedom Summer, the Freedom Schools, and a great opportunity to spread the word across Nashville. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for sharing our work. Thank you for really thank you for being you. Thank you for the work you all are doing at Nashville Propel. Just thank you, Miss Thomas. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. We are here to stay. We ain't going nowhere.
Not at all.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. We'll see y'all Wednesday on Access to 9 at 11 a.m. Go and be blessed.
All right.